Ecology is the study of the environment, which divides on biosphere, biome, ecosystem, community, population, and individual. Population ecology describes by these terms the size of population. The density of population is the total number of individuals per area of volume occupied. Dispersion describes how individuals in a population are distributed, age structure, and survivorship curves. These are terms for population growth. Biotic potential is the maximum growth rate of a population under ideal conditions with no limited resources and without any growth restrictions. The carrying capacity is the maximum number of individuals of a population that can be sustained by a particular habitat. Limited factors are those elements that prevent a population from obtaining its biotic potential. These are two general patterns of populations that represented by these two formulas. Human population growth can be possible by increasing in food supply, reduction in disease, reduction in human waste, and expansion in habitat. The competition in community ecology can be resolved by competitive exclusion principle. When two species compete for exactly the same resource, one is likely to be more successful. Resource partnering: some species coexist in spite of apparent competition for the same resources. Realized niche: the niche that an organism occupies in the absence of competing species in a fundamental niche. Character displacement: a result of resource with patterning. Certain characters may enable individuals to obtain resources in their patterning more successfully. Predation is another form of community interactions and can be categorized by a true predator, parasite, parasitoid, and herbivore. Coevolution is the evolution of one species in response to new adaptations that appear in the other species. Secondary compounds are toxic chemicals produced in plants that discussed would be herbivores. Camouflage is any color, pattern, shape, or behavior that enables an animal to blend in with their surroundings. Mimicry occurs when two or more species resemble one another in appearance. Pollination is the result of coevolution of finely tuned traits between the flowers and their pollinators. Ecological succession is the change in the composition of a species over time, and there is a primary succession and secondary succession. The flow of energy in an ecosystem contains from food chain and a food web, which is expanded version of a food chain. The dominant species is the most abundant species. Keystone species is one that has a strong influence on the health of a community or ecosystem. Invasive species is an introduced species that proliferates and displaces native species. These are trophic level groups. Biodiversity of an ecosystem is expressed as a function of the number of species, niches, and trophic levels in the ecosystem and the complexity of its food web. Factors that influence biodiversity are climate, latitude, habitat size and diversity, and elevation. Biogeochemical cycles. Hydrologic cycle is a water cycle. Carbon cycle is required for the building of all organic compounds. Nitrogen cycle is required for the manufacture of all amino acids and nucleic acids. Phosphorus cycle is required for the manufacture of ATP and all nucleic acids. The biggest human impacts on ecosystem are global climate changes and pollution.